Why not St. Johns County? You're probably doing some research right now and are thinking about moving to somewhere in St. Johns County. Well, in today's video, I'm going to give you the pros and the cons of living in St. Johns County. Let's go check it out. Hi, my name is Manny Ortega, along with my beautiful partner and wife, Carolina Ortega. We took a leap of faith and we moved down here with our family from Boston, Massachusetts, and we love it down here in St. Augustine, Florida. Hey, and check this out. If you're here right now and you're shopping for a home, or if you're still doing your research and you're 12 months out, definitely give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. All that information is going to be in the description box below. We would honestly love to hear your story and help you make a seamless transition down here to Florida. All right, so the cons. So now the first thing I want to say before I can move forward with this is like something that could be a con for me might be a pro for you, or something that's a pro for me could be a con for you. So let's just get that out the way. So the first con I have is actually the weather. So some people, when they move down here, they're kind of shocked at how hot it actually gets in the summer. So the summers are really hot. So June, July, August, it gets really hot here in St. Johns County, right around like the low 90s. And so you'll typically see people not going for their walks in the afternoon because the sun is beaming. Also in the summer, there's a lot of rain too. So there's massive rain showers that last anywhere between 15-20 minutes, and then it opens up again. But if you're driving, you're caught in that rain, man, it's honestly difficult to drive. So that's the summer. The spring, you have to kind of dress like an onion, they say, or the winters, because although it drops to like the 35-40 degrees, by the afternoon it might be 60 degrees. So it's kind of unpredictable. And they say you got to dress like an onion, right? So you layer up in the morning, and by the time the afternoon's here, you're taking off your sweater, you're taking off your jacket. So the fall too. The fall is there's a lot of rain still, September specifically, and then high winds. So here in Florida, September is known for hurricanes. September has produced the most hurricanes out of any other month. So obviously you have to deal with that. So there's always a fear of hurricanes, right? So but for me, I'd rather not shovel snow for 6 months and be indoors for 6 months, because up north you either join the winter or you lose it, right? So I remember being indoors for like 6 months. I hated going outside. I never snowboarded or skied. What's great about the summer here is like most people what they do is they get out of their air-conditioned home and they go into their air-conditioned car, right? And so, but the way you defeat the heat in the summer is basically you go to the beach, So the second con I have is travel, and I divide this into two things. One, drivers, and then the other thing is airports. So what's difficult about St. John's is that the nearest airport is in Jacksonville. So I'm Mr. 305, right? I like to fly internationally, and sometimes what happens is Jacksonville Airport doesn't have a connection flight. So for example, if I'm flying to Panama or Dominican Republic, you might have to catch a connection flight in Orlando or Miami, for example. So that makes traveling a little bit difficult. But I love the fact that it's a small airport and you're in and out within like 45 minutes. So that's great. But that's the only thing that you want to think about as you move down here. If you travel often, you're going to be either getting a connection flight to Miami or driving 2 hours to Orlando or flying to Orlando and then flying out. The other thing is the drivers. So I came down here and how do I say this? So, how do I say this? Without offending Floridians. All right, so the drivers here are horrible. They don't use the signal light, right? And I used to be a police officer, so every time I would see that, I'm like, I wanted to, oh, come on, I'm gonna pull them over and give them I would pull, if I was a cop here, I would pull these guys over and enforce the law so that everybody starts using their blinkers. Nobody uses their blinkers. The guy, oh my gosh, the camera was about to, it's so windy and the camera was about to fall. Let me hold it like it's a microphone. One of those thin microphones from back in the day. Anyways, what was I saying? Drivers. So when it comes to driving, there's a 30% chance that the guy in front of me is gonna use their blinkers, right? So I was gonna say 50-50, but I'm not even gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. So the other thing too is like I was shocked to find out that my actual car insurance went up when I moved down here. According to the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration, Florida actually ranks 3rd in the country for traffic fatalities, okay? And then according to insure.com, Florida ranks 3rd in the country as having the highest average insurance premiums, okay? So there you have it. Another con is travel. So the 3rd con I have is the food. So the food here isn't that great. I'm just gonna be honest. Unless if you're going to a fancy restaurant where you're gonna have to pay a premium, you're gonna get some good food there. But your average, corner shop, pizza shop, like if you wanna get a Greek style pizza or Italian style pizza, it's hard to get a good pizza down here. Chicago style, good luck with that. You have decent Mexican and decent sushi food, but I've yet to find, for example, our go-to Thai food. So I would have to give that a con down here. When it comes to food. The 4th con I have is the wildlife down here. So you got to be prepared that the environment down here is different. So we've all seen those videos of the crocodile, jumping over a fence or climbing over a fence, in the pool, the crocodile that's in the golf course, right? So yes, there's gators down here for sure. And all the 67 counties here in Florida, there have been gators spotted everywhere. So that's something you want to keep a track of or just know. Also with the snakes, there's snakes here too. So some of, garden snakes and some of them are poisonous. So you definitely want to consider the wildlife here. We had a tree frog come into our house one time and you should have seen me trying to take out the frog without touching it. I'm like, I don't know if it's venomous. I didn't know, but it was a simple tree frog. We've also had a gecko come inside our house and he actually got in the Christmas tree. I had to take out the Christmas tree to make sure that he got out of the house because I didn't want the gecko being stuck in my house somewhere. So the other thing too is mosquitoes, right? So mosquitoes are known to to carry pathogens. So because of the tropical environment down here in Florida, and the moisture, it's a breeding ground here for mosquitoes. So that's something you want to definitely consider is the wildlife. The next con I have is the lack of diversity. So, and I don't mean just black, Asian, and white, although obviously St. Johns County is 80% white, 8% Hispanic, 5% black, and 4% Asian, okay? I also mean diversity in age, for example. So St. Johns County is 60% of St. Johns County has a median age of 44.4, right? So coming from a big city, that's completely different from what you're used to. And as a Dominican American, like I've never felt anything, racist down here. One of my friends, a couple of my friends were like, "Hey, Manny, you're going to Florida," and like Florida sometimes has a bad reputation of having that racist Karen who has no problem using the N-word, right? But I've never had a problem down here. And then the only thing I would say too, just when I was driving around, I did see 2 Confederate flags. So take that for what it's worth. But I honestly believe that America makes it, the diversity. I honestly believe that diversity makes America an awesome nation, right? That's why we dominate in sports and technology. It's that diversity of thought that makes us stronger. And I think that's the thing. So one thing to know too is that St. Johns County is, Florida has different cities and different counties that are red and blue. I'll show you this map here of what counties or cities are red and blue, just to get an idea. But I will say this, St. Johns County is red. So what's great about St. Johns County is that you'll meet, red or blue, you'll meet people who come to St. Johns County for the same reason. They just want to be left alone and they want a good place, a good neighborhood to raise their kids. Okay, another con is that someone would say is that St. Johns County is growing way too fast. As you drive around here and you explore down here, you'll see that there's a lot of construction for commercial buildings and neighborhoods. And so some people may feel that it's going too fast. You'll get, new traffic patterns here and there. And, when you mix in tourists, at least in the St. Augustine area, you mix in the tourists, that's a lot of lines at the restaurants and a lot more traffic than what you're used to. Another issue with the growth in St. Johns County that people are concerned about is the fact that if they're not developing or not creating enough schools, that the A-graded public school system that they have right now is going to take an impact, is going to take a hit. So that means, more kids in a class than what you want. And then also maybe even having the staff members to support that school. The other situation that I see that it could be a con for someone is the lack of traditional fun and convenience. So like anyone, you should know this if you're thinking about moving down here from a city, is that there's no bodega down the street, right? You got to get in your car and you got to drive to a Publix or drive to, wherever to get whatever it is that you need. So that's one of the things that you should think about. So the convenience is out the door. And then the traditional fun, I would say, like, you know, I came from Boston, so it's a championship city. Sorry, I just got to say it, right? You could easily catch a game, you know, to see the Patriots, to see the Bruins, Celtics, right? Revolution, can't leave out soccer. But, you know, concerts. So there's a lot of things to do in the city. And here, you know, you got Jacksonville that you can go to if you want to see the Jaguars, for example. And then the Jumbo Shrimp, which is, you know, you can go see a AAA minor league team, Miami's AAA minor league team. And then maybe go down to St. Augustine City, the historical area where I'm at right now, and, you know, go to the bars and stuff like that. But if you're used to partying, let's say, and going out, you know, to 2 in the morning, you know, St. Johns County is not known for that. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. If you're out, you know, partying till 2 in the morning, St. Johns County is not known for that. You're not going to get that here, right? You could probably go to Jacksonville and get that. But that's why this county is more for the older crowd. I ain't old. I'm not old, okay? But it's more tailored to, you know, families. So not to say that you can't have your fun, right? There's bars here still, but just one of the things that you should keep in mind if you're into that stuff. All right, so now moving to the pros, and I gotta hit you with the first thing again is the weather. I love the weather. Right now it's in March. It's in the middle of Bike Week here, Daytona's Bike Week. You might hear some motorcycle rumblings, but it's amazing here. It's March right now. I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, shorts. The weather here is beautiful. So like I said earlier, when it comes to the weather, you got like the weather basically fluctuates from like the low 40s to the low 90s all year round. So I love it here. It forces you to go outside. You see that beautiful weather, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go out for a walk, or I'm gonna go out for a run. And that's what I love about the weather out here in St. Johns County or Florida. You can smell, you know, I don't know if you've ever been to a cruise or when you land in the tropics, but there's a certain smell to the environment. You get that here, and to me sometimes it just reminds me of like, okay, I'm in vacation land, right? So people come here to Florida, they visit Florida, and they come here on vacation, and guess what, this is now where you live. So the weather, I would say, is a big deal. What's awesome about St. Johns County is that we have over 40 miles of scenic coastal line views because of the Atlantic Ocean, obviously, and on the west side of St. Johns County we have over 30 miles of river views, basically. So the St. Johns River runs to the west side of St. Johns County, so it's awesome. So if you're the camera's shaking again. So it's awesome because if you're into water sports, I mean, I'm talking, you can do scuba diving, you know, snorkeling, you know, jet skiing, boating, tubing, whatever you want to do, man. When it comes to water, you can definitely get it done here. We also have 2 additional rivers, the Tolomato River and the Guana River. So again, you can do lots of stuff here in St. Augustine when it comes to water recreation. St. John's also has a lot of golf courses. It has 20 golf courses within the county and another 48 golf courses in the surrounding counties. The third pro I would say about St. Johns County is the history and the festival. So St. John's has the oldest inhabited city in America, St. Augustine. There's historic stuff that goes back to the 16th century here. So that's why there's a huge tourist crowd here. As you can see behind me, there's a fort. There's a lot of museums that you can visit here in St. Johns County, and there's a lot of historical sites that you can go visit. So that's awesome about, you know, that's a good plus for St. Johns County. There's also a lot of festivals that happen, whether it's here in St. Augustine or in the St. John's Fairgrounds, which is more around Elkton. There's a lot of stuff, like there's a balloon. Last year we had an air balloon festival. So that was cool. So there's a lot of festivals that you can attend. And what's cool about the history and the festivals here is that it brings a little bit of energy to St. Augustine. So you get a little buzz, you know, like right now we're in the middle of March Bike Week. You sense a little bit of an extra energy. You definitely get that also during the Nights of Lights Festival too. So St. Augustine has a Nights of Lights Festival, and there's a lot of tourists that come down, you know, to see that, and it's awesome. So another pro of St. Johns County is the safety and security. And so I just have to say, especially as a former cop, the safety and security here in St. Johns County is great. Comparing that, again, St. Johns County is 59 in crimes and 63rd in violent crimes, while Jacksonville, Duval County, is ranked first in crime and fourth in violent crimes. And that they're just 25 minutes, 30 minutes apart. So that should give you an idea of how safe St. Johns County really is. The other pro I have is the fact that St. Johns County is growing. St. Johns County is expected to grow to 325,000 by 2025. And that's a 19% increase from when the census was taken back in 2020. So with that growth comes obviously, or hopefully, jobs, right? So service industry jobs, construction jobs. So if, hey, you're a plumber, electrician, or you're an entrepreneur, or you can work from home, you know, come down here and take advantage of the growth. The other thing, or if you're an investor, right? Another benefit about St. Johns County is that obviously we're, you know, depending where you are, you could be anywhere between 20 to 40 minutes away from Jacksonville City. So there's a lot more employment opportunity there. So you can live in St. Johns County, take advantage of the schools, but then you commute to work to Jacksonville. So if you don't find a job here in St. Johns County, definitely look in Duval County and see if you can get a job there. Hey, listen, if you're working from home, get rid of those pajamas, those sweatpants. You know what I'm talking about. You're not gonna need them. Maybe just bring two in case you wanna go out, you know, and go for a run. But if you can work from home, then I would definitely consider moving down here to have a better quality of life. My second to last pro is the public school system here. So the school system here in St. Johns County is graded A, which is the best in the state of Florida. And you have a choice to send your kids to private school, charter schools, public schools. But what we're seeing here is that not only are people moving from out of state into St. Johns County, but also people within the state of Florida are moving. So I have friends from Jacksonville, friends from Miami that moved to St. Johns County because of the public school system. So that's one of the big drivers for people within the state. And also, as you do your research and you want to come into Florida from out of the state, definitely consider St. Johns County because of the public school system. So what's great about the public school system too is that the student to teacher ratio is relatively low. So it's between 1 in 15 and 1 in 18, depending on which school you attend. So definitely consider that when you're thinking about moving to St. Johns County, is the fact that they have great public schools. The last pro I would say is the quality of life. So moving down here to St. Augustine has been a blessing to me and my wife and our kids. The quality of life is amazing. The fact that the weather's so beautiful, the people are actually nice here, like really nice. When we moved down here, people were waving to us, and we were like, I'm like looking back, I'm like, oh, you're saying hi to me. And so I would wave back, and you get that sense of like, you know, that's true Southern hospitality. And it's not like a stuck up or like, you know, I mean, you might find pockets like that, but we've never come across it. But the truth is, like, people just want to come down here and have a good life. They want to raise their kids. The other thing I'll say is the fact that when I was moving down here, you know, going back to the driving thing is, you know, we're always in a rush. If you're coming from a big city, you're always in a rush, right? And so I was amazed when we were touring the area at how bad the drivers were, or how not in a rush they were. And I was honking my horn, and my wife turns to me and she's like, Manny, why are you bringing Boston to here? She's like, look, no one's honking the horn. And it's true. No, I mean, yes, once in a while, but people don't honk the horn here. And it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like, I've caught myself a few times where I'm like, you know, I want to honk the horn, this guy's up, and then I don't, you know, and I've gotten better at that, guys. I've gotten better at that, all right? The quality of life is great down here. So you'll meet new families that have done what you're about to do, right? They moved from somewhere and they're here. And you're meeting awesome people who just, you know, want to become friends and build a community. I know that moving to Florida could be difficult, right? I say you're stepping out in faith. So one of the concerns is obviously, am I going to be able to find a job, or, you know, the pay is less. So one of the things that I would say is, you know, definitely check out the cost of living, right? So you'll see, if you look at NerdWallet or some of these websites that I'll put up here, you'll see that the cost of living is less than, could be less than where you're coming from. So definitely consider that as you're making your move. So for example, I'm going to put up a picture here so you can see what the difference is from Boston to St. Augustine, and how much the cost of living is less here in St. Johns County. Picture that, you know, you're honestly living a more abundant life. And when I say abundance, I don't mean just wealth. I mean in time, more abundance in time, in your energy, and in love. You know, yeah, I got really romantic there for you. You know, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, do me a huge solid, give it a thumbs up, and definitely subscribe if you're thinking about moving down here. Hit us up, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you and stay safe.